My time at Howard Community College began in 1972 when I taught a continuing education course in women's history. And it was pretty new at the time to talk about women in history, and that was my start. And then 2 years later, I had just earned a master's degree in reading, and I saw an advertisement for coordinator and reading specialist in continuing education. And I thought to myself, well, I have no idea what a coordinator is, but I think I can be a reading specialist, and so I applied for the job. It was a part-time job, which was ideal because I had a young child, and it was the Adult Basic Education program and the English as a Second Language program. They're both federal programs that were free. We offered them through continuing education, and our job was to, first of all, find people to come, and then to structure a program of learning. So those were really exciting days, and we had a lot of immigrant population, and the fathers would go to work and learn English, and the children would go to school and learn English, and the mothers, the wives, would be at home. And often they didn't get out of the apartment. So we felt that we could really perform a service. And out of that, ultimately, much later, in 1981, came the Foreign-Born Information and Referral Network, FIRN, FERN. And that was started in continuing education. Pat Hatch was the activist who thought of all the ways that we could attract students and all the ways that we could help integrate these new residents of our county. And she was really the life force behind that, and it was in continuing ed for a long time. And then ultimately it moved beyond us, and it's still functioning. It's now a 501c3 charity. So that was one of the things that came, and then as my job expanded, as the programs we offered grew. And so we started doing workforce development, going out, talking to businesses and saying, how can we help you? And how can we make your job easier? How can we train your employees? And so it started small, and we also brought college courses to prisons, to the Clifton T. Perkins facility, and also especially to the Patuxent Institution, which is a treatment-based maximum security facility. And then at the same time, our Howard County Police and Fire Department were looking to structure a credentialing program from rookie to officer, and we worked with them to develop a whole curriculum and then offered the courses, and we'd have graduation ceremonies, and they took the job very seriously, and actually it was very much a valuable experience for us as well, because we saw how committed they were to the people in the community. We also started Kids on Campus, which now, as you know, is a huge program. And it began small, and it grew based on interest. The students would think of new courses that we could offer, or the parents would think of new courses, or we would think of new courses. But it brought very young children to the campus and gave them an opportunity to be college students for a week or for 2 weeks, and also gave them a positive experience with Howard Community College. So that was definitely a winner and has taken over and become a really enormous enterprise now. So my time in continuing education was really wonderful, and we had originally had offices on campus here and just really wherever they could fit us. And then when the college took over the Hickory Ridge building, we took over the first floor, most of the first floor. And for the first time, we had classrooms that were ours, and we didn't have to go begging or, could we please use? And that allowed us to do additional things. And we had conference areas, and we had other spaces that we could use for a variety of things. So while I was working in continuing education, I was also teaching Philosophy 101 part-time. When the textbook that I was using had a new edition come out, the sales representatives called me and said, "How do you like our new edition?" And I said, "I hate it. You took out all the parts I liked. The things you added I don't like." And they said, "Can we take you to lunch?" I said, "Of course." And we went to Clyde's for lunch. And when we sat down to eat, one of the sales reps said to me, "So what would a textbook look like that met your needs?" And I was astounded to hear myself saying, well, it would have women philosophers in every chapter, it would have logic in every chapter, it would have Asian and traditional African philosophy, and I reeled out this whole, another part of my brain had been working on a project that I never imagined I would do. So that led them to say, "We think you have a book here." And then as a result of the book, when it came out, I started thinking that my instructors here, my adjunct instructors, and perhaps other philosophy teachers around the country would only be comfortable teaching the Western tradition. And how would they begin to talk about these non-Western traditions? And so it turned out that that was the root of a 25-lesson telecourse called For the Love of Wisdom, that's based directly on my textbook called Roots of Wisdom. And they go together so well. It started small. I was only going to do a few segments, and then it grew and it grew. And so eventually we realized that we did have this complete telecourse. And telecourses were the mode of visual instruction in those days. This was now 1995 to 1997. So the whole enterprise of creating materials that are worldwide in focus and not just Western has become a focal point of my teaching. Both the textbook and the telecourse were the two major projects. When I accepted the offer to change my title from administrator to credit faculty member, I immediately saw many, many possibilities. And one of them was the idea of having a women's studies program of study or a degree. And in fact, that was my promotion project. And so the first 4 years that I was a credit faculty member, I was creating a women's studies program. And then partway through the development of the women's studies program in about 2001, I think, I started a women's studies distinguished speaker series. We would invite a woman from a field that people might not know much about and allow her to speak and then have a question and answer session, or we would organize other activities around this event. So we did that for a number of years, and then for the last 5 or 6 years, we've morphed that into a salon. And we have in the current version of the salon, women kind of represent through the words of other women, people from the historical past. And so some people costume and really wear wigs and things so they look like the person they're representing. That's not required, but we do try to give in their own words the women that we feel have been insufficiently appreciated for the contributions that they've made. And that's been very exciting. So it's a 2.5-hour production, and we've been using Monteabaro Hall, which is a lovely space. And I'm the talent scout, I'm the producer, the director, the entrepreneur, or whatever you call it. And so it's turned out to be a very large chunk of my time, and it's very exciting. And we do it for women art and culture students. It's their class time on Friday morning, and then we invite the college community and the wider community to come, and it's always been a very rich experience because you have people representing various ages, various ethnicities, various points of view, various interests, and then we have 2 question and answer sessions, and we encourage lively participation. So anyone who is looking for something to do in March, there will be a salon for you.